everybody, it's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another test drive video. Today we are in a 1965 Chevrolet Nova with the original 283 and a 2-speed automatic power glide. Alright, so again we have a 65 Chevrolet Nova. This is a factory V8 Nova, but it is not an SS car. This was originally a 283 car. It has a suffix code correct 283, so I believe it to be the original 283 for the car. And it runs and drives excellent. It's shown 48,750 miles. And the backstory that I got on the car, that's supposed to be the original miles. And judging how original the car is, I definitely believe it to be an original 48,000 mile car, but again, I can't 100% verify. Back on the mechanicals, it does have a 2-speed power glide. Again, that's what it would have came with. It is optioned with manual steering, manual drum brakes, so if you wanted to do some upgrades, you could do a power disc brake conversion or a power steering conversion, but it steers easy and it stops nice for just being manual. What's really cool is this one is optioned with an underdash AC unit. It's a factory setup. At least under the hood, it's all factory. This is the factory style AC system that it would have had. The air blows nice and cold. The heat works. It gets warm, and I wouldn't say it gets hot. So that might be something to address there. A new heater core could be another issue. But the AC does work and the heat does warm it up in here, but I wouldn't classify it as hot. Still retains an original set of manifolds, an original style set of manifolds, and then the exhaust has been replaced from the manifold all the way back. So it's got nice dual exhaust. I believe it's a 2.5-inch exhaust. Nice mufflers, full tailpipes. Sounds real good going down the road. It is not aggressively loud. I'm barely speaking very loud in here right now, and I don't even hear the exhaust. You get on the throttle a little bit, you really hear more motor than you do exhaust, but it is a nice compliment. If you really get into the throttle, you'll hear the exhaust a little bit more, but again, not terribly loud, which is kind of what I prefer. Really impressive the way that this car drives, and everything lines up with a 48,000 mile car. Just goes down the road like a stock style Nova should. On the interior, it is a factory coated red cloth interior. I believe the seat covers to be original front and rear. The door panels look a lot fresher, so I believe those, and same thing with the rear interior panels, I think those have been done. The imperfections on the interior, right on the bolster, on the edge of the driver's seat here, on the piping, there's a little bit of wear on the piping, and then the top portion of the rear seat, right before the package tray, that vinyl is starting to crack a little bit up there on the top part of the seat. Obviously just sun getting down in through the back glass there will beat up that vinyl a little bit, so it is a little cracked, but that would really be it. The rest of the interior is original. The gauges are all easy to read. Horn is there. There are a few little cracks in the original steering wheel, but nothing that's structurally or nothing that's bad structurally, just some little hairline cracks in the steering wheel. A lot of the trim is original, does have some age to it. Carpet looks like it's also been redone, and it has brand new mats in it as well. Headliner's white visors, all that stuff shows nice. Dome lens is there, looks to be an original dome lens. While these cars are going, a really well sorted car on the doesn't work section, a minimal list of things not working. The biggest one being the heat not getting very hot, but it does work. The door lock mechanisms on the outside of both the doors, you have to kind of jiggle the key a little bit. The key is pretty worn, so I would suggest maybe doing some new, either a new ignition, which you don't need, it fires up just fine, and then also a new set of door locks. You get some new keys, and that just would fix that worn key. But the door locks do work. You just got to jiggle the key a little bit, and then when you kick the headlights on, your factory dash lights aren't coming on, so it just needs an LED conversion on the dash lights. So really minimal stuff that's not working. Underneath is excellent. Original undercoating, original floors. I didn't find really any rust repair or rust issues. Just a nice, solid, original car on the bottom. Obviously, you have your exhaust that's been redone. That looks brand new, or close to new. I'm not the one that did the exhaust, but it looks nice and clean, and it looks like someone recently did it. The inside of the trunk is clean with no problems. It's all detailed out and it shows well. The exterior is a factory Regal Red exterior. The car was sold to me as a single repaint car back in like the 90s. And judging by walking around the car, looking at some of the little flaws on it, I definitely believe that that could be accurate. I don't have any paperwork to support saying it was a single repaint car, but just kind of going off the provenance and the story of the car, all of that stuff lines up. So an older repaint looks good. There's a few little fish odds on the top of the rear quarter, smaller little imperfections and touch-ups, but the paint quality is actually nice on it. A lot of the trim on the exterior appears to be original, so it does have some wear. They probably popped the trim off, repainted it, put the trim back on. If you wanted to refresh some of the trim, you could. It doesn't need to be done, but there are just some little dings and little hazy spots in some of the trim. But again, overall paint quality is nice. Wheels and tires are brand new. It's a 14-inch Torque Trust D, good tires on it. No rubbing issues. I've had multiple people in here driving it with me before. It goes down the road excellent. As you can see, I'm not even holding the steering wheel. This car drives awesome. And I mentioned potentially doing a power brake conversion or even just discs, but it actually stops really nice and straight. And this isn't a big, heavy car, so it's not something that's 100% needed. Going down this bumpy road, all the suspension is stock style suspension. Some of the bushings on the bottom of the car in the front and the back appear to be original, so they do have some cracking in some of the bushings, but nothing that I think needs to be addressed at the moment. Suspension, again, same way. It all looks like original equipment, nothing that's high performance or anything that's recently been rebuilt, but it all looks good and it checks out nice. Again, goes down this bumpy road really nice and straight. Cruising at, get up to about 40 here. Cruising at 40 there, let off the steering wheel. Again, this road is really rough and it's going down it excellent. The glass is all original in the car. The windshield does have some streaks, and there's two pretty decent stone chips, or three little stone chips over there. The windows roll up and down like they should, front and rear. The back glass also looks good and you can see out of it nice and easy. When you get up at an angle and you look down at the glass from the outside, you can see some streaks, and again, same thing with the front windshield and the side glass. It's probably all original glass if I had to guess. There's a little bit of delamination happening on the windshield on both sides. Again, pretty indicative of an original windshield from a car that's it was built in 1964, 1965. Seat feels good. It's not, the seat foam isn't broken down. Still has a nice ride feel to it. It's a comfortable car to drive. I'm 6 foot tall, right about 200 pounds, and I'm very easily, I fit in this car very easy. There's a ton of room between me and the steering wheel. It is a fixed column, it's not tilt, but if you're a larger individual, these cars actually have more room than a lot of people think. You could always do some seat tracks if you want to slide the seat back any further. But again, I'm 6 foot tall and I have plenty of room. Someone that's 6'2" or 6'3" could easily drive this car without feeling cramped. Just an impressive little kind of a survivor style Nova that was cosmetically refreshed with a paint job and new wheels and tires at some point. But it's a car that's never been cut up. These are some of my favorite kind of cars to get. Restored cars are great, but original cars, sometimes I just like them better because I don't think this car's ever been apart. The engine bay is super clean and super original. I love that it's a factory AC car, just kind of a hard option to get on one of these. It's cool that it's a factory V8 car. I have no problem with one of these that was just a nothing Nova. That was a 6-cylinder car that someone poked a 350 down in. But having the original 283 still retains the power glide, being a factory AC car, just a lot of cool factor. And this car has a great look, being red on red with the Torque Trust Ds. I think the gray wheels give it a just kind of a cool, aggressive stance and a good look to the car. My overall feel is it's a fantastic Nova. I would hop in this thing and drive it anywhere. I think I've driven it the last 10 minutes more without my hands on the steering wheel than with my hands on the wheel. So that's really kind of showing how well this car goes down the road. Fuel gauge appears to be working, speedo's working. One thing I didn't touch on is the dash clock is there, but the dash clock is not winding. As always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my test drive videos. If there's ever anything else that y'all want to see, have comments, concerns, questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to get updates for the content we're putting out daily. Check us out at pcclassiccars.com, and we'll see you guys on the next test drive video. Thanks again for watching. One thing I forgot to mention, the turn signal indicators do work on the inside and the outside, but like a lot of these, they don't have an automatic cancel. So when you turn the steering wheel and the indicator's on, you have to click it off, otherwise your blinker will stay on.